everything is set up. Greetings. All right, it should be live. Just says upcoming, but it should be live right now. Literally. Let's see. Okay. All right. So it's a little dark. Let me see if I can fix that. Because I'm in a chill mood right now. So I'm just like chilling. Like we're just chilling right now. Like that's really all it is right now. Hey sis. Still kind of dark in here. That's okay. It's whatever. So I wanted to kind of do like a tarot, like how I was doing in February. Every Tuesday I do a heart therapy session. So that's kind of what I wanted to do with this live, and just kind of, you know, touch on some heart matters. But I did want to, you can still see, okay. It's going to be kind of hard to see the cards. I understand that. So I wanted to kind of tap into like the energies around like what's going on with the heart, you know, for those of you that, you know, this resonates with you anyhow. But I also wanted to share, I don't know why I kicked you out the lives, Nina. That's weird. But I also wanted to share like kind of like a conversation that I had with one of my good sisters, Tori. And one of the conversations that we were having was about, I don't know, if it just guided to ask her the question. I asked her the question of, how do you see your beauty? How would you describe your beauty? And I said, because when I did my whole, because I shared this on Friday, I think that I did this like kind of like the spiritual bath that one of my other sister friends was encouraging me to do, and she was like, I'm seeing like roses for you, like you're supposed to do some type of healing work with roses, and like certain parts on your body you need to like touch those certain parts. So when I went through the whole, you know, the first day that I did it, because I did it for 3 days straight. The first day I was focusing more so on my head, my face, my, you know, my lips, my eyes, specifically in my throat. And I was sending love to myself, and I started to cry because I was, you know, hearing like positive affirmations, and Spirit was having me deal with my identity and dealing with how I see myself. And, you know, as you get older, your body changes, your face changes, you know, just different things change about you. And I believe that aging is beautiful, by the way. I think aging looks good on people. And like I believe like some men look way better when they're older. I'm like, men, when they get older, they just look finer. You know what I mean? And women, I feel like they're so beautiful. I love gray hair on women. I don't know. It's something about gray hair that I think is beautiful to me. I don't know. But I sat with myself and I asked myself this question before I asked Tori the question, and I heard strange beauty, the word strange. And I was like, that's kind of weird, like the word strange. But I looked at the definition of strange and I was like, okay, that makes sense. That makes a lot of sense. And hey sis, ooh, you got the incense going, cleaning your room. I forgot to put my incense on, by the way. I have a candle, but I didn't put no incense on. The word strange came to mind, and I looked up the definition of strange, and I was like, okay, that makes a lot of sense. And there's nothing wrong with conventional beauty. I feel like it's kind of this thing of where like people have this thing where there is only a type of beauty that can be celebrated. And I'm talking about beauty on a physical level, but there's other components that make people beautiful, not just the physical, not what your face looks like, your body looks like, your clothes, your hair. Those are aspects, but you know, everybody has their own definition of how they view beauty and what's beautiful to them. And it's okay to be conventionally pretty or handsome, and it's okay to be strange and unique in your beauty, your features. They don't have to be with what the world says is beautiful or attractive. Um, so it's not that you're ugly. And this meme is funny, but I know y'all probably seen it before back in the day, but it's like, you're not ugly, you're just broke. And that, like, that's a whole nother, that's it's ignorant, but it's funny. Like, I get it. But no, you're not ugly. You have a different look. And when you're bombarded with, this is attractive, this is what's beautiful, and maybe there is things that people agree with that make sense when you look at a person or something that makes sense to you, you automatically gravitate towards that. If it's something that doesn't make sense to you, or it kind of makes you uncomfortable, or it's different, it's not everybody's going to take to that, and that's okay, right? um so the definition of strange, like, y'all can look it up yourself, but it just, I don't know. And I'm not gonna lie, like, it did kind of like take a weight off of my shoulders when we had that conversation. And she was like, you know what, you need to like share this with people. I don't remember everything that I said. Like, when I be going in, I be going in when I get like downloads and stuff like that. And sometimes it's just normal conversation that I have. But she was like, you need to like share this. And one of the things that I said was that, don't take it personal when people don't gravitate towards you. If you're somebody that you feel like you have to look a certain way, like, I feel like sometimes spirit will, God knew better than to give me like the biggest ass ever. Like, spirit knew better not to give me a big ass like that. Like, my butt is nice and everything, but like, some people just got crazy ass, right? God knew better not to give me nothing like that. Don't give me no Megan Thee Stallion bodies. God knew better, because I probably would probably be a shitty person, walking around with my head just cocky as fuck. But no, like, I feel like sometimes spirit wants us to experience ourselves how other people see us that do appreciate it and do love us. Because oftentimes we'll go and we'll try to make sense of why we were rejected. It doesn't have to just be based off of physical looks and stuff like that. It could just be off of something about you, anything about you, and you feel like that's not enough. That's not good enough. It's easy to bend into the rules, and I hate these types of videos that I see, like, whether it's on TikTok or whether it's on Twitter or whether it's on YouTube or whatever, like, oh, how to dress feminine, how to look more feminine. Like that's one aspect of femininity. And I feel like you can't do that, because if we wouldn't have, like, when I look at fashion and stuff like that, I like things that are weird and like, just, where'd you get that from? How'd you even style that? Like, Erykah Badu's style is dope to me, right? But I can also look at someone else and be like, what someone else has on is polished and is quote unquote posh, and find that beautiful as well too. So it's like, we don't have to just have one type of attractiveness or beauty or be one type of way. Um, we should just love each other in its own colorful way. And I had to go deep into my healing with that, because growing up, a particular family member of mine, she had an idea of what she wanted us to be, her grandchildren to be. So I'm giving it away. So my grandmother had an idea of what she wanted all of her grandchildren to be, and if it deviated from that, church girl or whatever she wanted us, whatever activities or hobbies she wanted us to get into, she wouldn't support it. And I always was a creative person. It was always something in me that wanted to do something creative, whether it was fashion, whether it was music, whether it was something with art. She didn't support that if it wasn't something that made sense to her. So as an adult, the backlash of that, like, why can't we all just be loved as we are? So when I got older, rejection was not always easy for me, because I didn't understand it. I felt like, oh, because I'm not this, and so maybe I should be more this way. um yes, please like and share. And hello, Ariel, greetings. um I've always had this thing of like, oh, maybe this person didn't want to be with me because I didn't look like this and I didn't look like that, rather than just looking at it was, that's just not the person for me. And there's people that will love me and appreciate me. And I always say this, like, feel like God uses my friends to kind of like pour that love back into me, to feel comfortable again with embracing someone on a romantic level, like being open in the heart level to see myself. And of course, the inner work, it can't just come outside. Community is everything. It's beautiful to have that, but at the end of the day, you have to find that healing place within yourself. You have to find that validation within yourself. And a lot of times, people that are, I feel, quote unquote, different, quirky, or unique, or creative, or whatever, you are going to be misunderstood. Not everybody's going to gravitate towards you, but a lot of times those type of people are trailblazers. They, if it's a topic of discussion that's not popular, or it makes people uncomfortable, it might not hit immediately, it may not gravitate towards the masses, but there's someone out there, there's always that 1% or 2% that gives it an ear and gives it a listen, and it will travel from there and then on. So it's a beautiful thing at the same time, because it does kind of force you to accept yourself. Because if you had the praise, and I say this all the time too, if you had the praise and the validation from everybody else, you probably wouldn't have a real true self-esteem, because your self-esteem is based off of external things, whether it's external validations of other people, whether it's based off of how you look, how you dress, and everybody likes it, everybody loves it. And oftentimes when everybody likes and love everything, they gravitate towards something. It's from a place of ignorance. It's from a place of, it's like a hive-minded, no mind of your own type of thing, just following the crowd, falling for everything and anything. So you need that that contrast in life. We all need that colorful, like I always say this, God created us. If we're created in God's image, that means that the image of God must be something that we cannot put in a box. We're all different. Like God is like this. If we put God into this um image of, let's say, not like a person, but just an essence and energy that has many different facets and colors and all of that, that has, blue hues, pink, purples, greens, yellow, maybe some gray shit, some dark, some dark shit, right? There's different, we all are supposed to represent ourselves in a unique way. We're not all supposed to be the same. We're not all supposed to look the same, talk the same, think the same, love the same. Like that doesn't make sense. Like, it's not normal. Um, yeah, so the definition of strange. So some of you may not define yourself as a strange, quote unquote, beauty or type of energy. It could be something else. Like my friend, I think she said, what did she say how she would define her beauty? I think she said quirky. And that makes sense. Like, if you've seen her, like, she's like, she's probably gonna laugh at me. Like, I wouldn't say exactly, but she reminds me of like Drew Barrymore. Like Drew Barrymore has like this kind of hippie-ish but like kind of like childlike energy to her a little bit. Um, I don't know, like something about her energy. I feel like that's perfect fitting for her. But strange represents something not previously visited, seen, or encountered, unfamiliar or alien. Or that's the second definition anyhow. But yeah, I was like, you know what? It is, and I have to be okay with that. Like, that's fine. You have to be your own person. You have to. But yeah, so the first definition of strange and an adjective is unusual, or in a surprising and in a way that is unsettling or hard to understand. So yeah, like if you this is another thing too, like we can look at a blessing as a curse sometimes. But if I was to line myself up with like all my other, like my cousins and my brothers and my sister, like all of the grandkids like lined up together, probably me and my brother would probably be, and my daughter, because she's a little different, and my little sister. We all kind of like are different, like our own way. Like we don't dress quote unquote normal. Like there's something quirky or unique about our energy. And I feel like people would look at that as a negative. Like my grandma told, this is just me being like probably too detailed and getting too much into my business. But she said something to my daughter the other day. She's like, "You're trying to be like your mom. Why are you wearing that?" Because I like to wear bindis and stuff. And she's like, "Why are you wearing that?" And she told her to take it off. And she's like, "No, I like to wear this." So it's almost like a control thing of, no, you need to be a certain way. And then it kind of offended me when she said, you're trying to be like your mom. And it's like, little girls usually look up to their mothers, like, and little boys usually look up to their dads. Why wouldn't she want to, like, kind of be like me in some kind of way? Although I do want her to be her own person, and she is. But there's certain things about my style and, like, things that I do, like my hobbies, that she also takes to. So just hearing that kind of made me feel offended. Like, what do you mean by that? Like, why wouldn't she want to? But I get, on a deeper level, I'm not the poster child of what my grandmother would have wanted me to be. So that's fine. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, it hurts at times when you, like, sit with it, but when you look beyond the surface and deeper, that's a them problem, and it has nothing to do with me. Like, as long as I accept who I am, how I want to present myself, express myself, live my life, and it's pleasing to me in a healthy way, and it's not hurting you or hurting anybody else, it's none of your business. And if you have a problem with it, that's your problem. You know what I mean? So again, instead of trying to make yourself mediocre or make yourself palatable or digestible for people, and you're saying to yourself, oh, I can't be this way because, oh, this is not what spirituality looks like. This is not what femininity looks like or masculinity looks like. This is not what blah, 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 blah. Instead of doing that and trying to, like, water yourself down, be more boldly yourself. And the more uncomfortable people feel, like, maybe it's something that they don't accept within themselves. Maybe you're triggering something within a person that they don't accept within themselves. They don't like about themselves, or they're too afraid to be more of that. If it's not hurting anybody and harming anyone, and you're being your authentic self, you're doing you, and you are truly that colorful person that God called you to be, and it bothers somebody, that's a them problem. It has nothing to do with you. So the strangeness is something that it makes people feel unsettled, or maybe because they don't understand it or whatever, it makes them feel in fear or whatever. That is more so of a reflection of something going on inside of them. So maybe, some of the elders, some elders have, like, this bitterness towards the youth, and, oh, why are they doing this? Why are they doing that? Because you have to look back at their time, especially the women, especially women of color, the oppression around that. Like, you really couldn't move the way that you wanted to move. There wasn't as much, like, we weren't able to express ourselves in the way that we do now back then. Like, they didn't have the platform to do that, or the space always to be that. So it was a lot of conforming, a lot of women's rights was, they didn't have as much as we have now. So rather than seeing it as a blessing, and seeing it as, like, you know what, the women, the young men, or the wherever the youth, they're able to do things that we weren't able to do. They're able to change things, do this and that. There's a little bit of bitterness sometimes with that. So again, that is not your problem. It's not your problem at all. If people don't get it, they don't understand it. People are stuck in their ways. People are stuck in generational traumas and patterns, religion and all that shit. That's a whole nother topic. I still haven't talked about religious trauma yet, but I do want to talk about it still. I don't know if Nina wants to do that little podcast she was talking about, that podcast episode she was talking about, but religious trauma is a really big thing. Like, a lot of us are birthed into it. We don't, almost like we don't have a choice. And some people, that's not everybody's story. Not everybody's parents or grandparents grew up in the church or put them in the church at a young age. Me personally, my story, that was the story, like, being birthed into it. And when I didn't resonate with the church scene, that wasn't, I said this a few times before, I did not find God in the church. God was always within me and around me. In my experience, I always had some type of relationship with source, but in church, like, the way that they went about it, it never resonated with me. And I thought something was wrong. Like, maybe I'm evil or something. Like, it just didn't make sense to me. But my most special encounters, the most supernatural encounters I've ever had with God, the most spiritual breakthroughs I've ever had, was in the privacy of my own space, or somewhere out in nature, or just living life. And it was not in the church. No. And I can't say that I'd never had, like, things happen to me during church that had touched me, that have changed me in some kind of way, but in the way that they say, like, oh, this is evil, you shouldn't do that. Like, that just did not resonate with me to my core. And why I say it's religious trauma is because when you do follow that path, again, that path that resonates with you, how you live your life, how you express yourself in life, It's not going to resonate with everyone if that's all they've known is conformity, like conforming, and oh, you can't do this and you can't do that, like that stronghold on people. Some people die with that stronghold on them and never really finding or seeking God for themselves outside of what someone is telling them. That's why I always tell people all the time, like, yeah, I can resonate with parts of the Bible, Christ energy. I can resonate with Hinduism. I can resonate with all different types of things. And I can find the correlation and the resonance within each of those religions or those spiritual beliefs and faiths. But at the same time, like my relationship with God was something that I had to find and build on my own, not based off of what someone told me I needed to do. So how you resonate with God and how God speaks with you is going to be unique to you. So you can't put God in a box. I don't believe God is this big man in the sky. Like I don't believe in that. That doesn't resonate with me. It sounds crazy. And they talk about, oh, worshiping mythology and Greek gods and all that shit. If you think about it, like Zeus, like the way y'all describe God, it sounds like you're talking about like some big man in the sky. Like you might as well be talking about Zeus. Like it's so much contradictory shit. And I don't want to get into all that. We're not gonna go that deep into it. But yeah, the message within itself, like I'm gonna pull some cards, trust me, believe me. Like this is just like a little, little open heart therapy session, Let me sip my margarita. Okay, let me sip my margarita. But you have to like, I say this all the time, and I've understood this so many times. God is like showing me, like, Chenoa, like, see when you do get out of your own way, like oh, I don't want to do this, I don't want to get on camera, I don't want to say this, and what if I say the wrong thing, what if I offend somebody? When I like get past all that shit and I stop casting myself out and I just show up for myself, that is when like God shows me, like, see, you would have done this person and that person or whatever a disservice, because I'll get feedback. Thank you for this, Chenoa, or I needed to hear this message, or this resonated with me at the time I needed, or whatever the case may be. Or I'm sitting in the corner counting myself out thinking like, oh, I'm just insignificant, I'm just this little bug, nobody, like, just whatever, be comfortable with just being in the background. And then somebody will say something and share like, oh yeah, I know this person, she does this, she does that, you should check her out, blah blah blah. Like, and I'll be sitting in the corner like hiding, and it's like, no, you can't do that. So you do a disservice to yourself when you don't be your authentic self. And it doesn't have to be like you have to be a reader or have a message for someone. However you decide to live your life, again, that is pleasing to you and divine source God, that resonates with your true identity, that isn't hurting anybody, it will inspire someone else in some capacity, I promise you. So as long as you're trying to play small, and you'll never, if it's about love, if you feel like, oh, I have to be this, and this is things that I have to work on within myself as well, saying, and I remind myself of this, if I go in the mindset of, oh, who's gonna want me if I'm like this instead of this, and I should be like this, and oh, only women like this get chosen, only women that look like this get chosen and get married, that's fucking bullshit. That is like bullshit. It is not, that's not real, that's not true. Like, women of all walks of life, all shapes and sizes, skin tones, whatever ages, whatever their story, their background, can find true love and real love, like on the real, like that's real. And I've seen it. So if you feel like you have to conform, and it doesn't have to just be, let's take the physical stuff out of it, and let's say, I want this out of life, and this is who I am, and this is what I want, but this guy or this woman doesn't resonate with it, or they're trying to tell me, why are you doing that, or you should do more of this, and it feels like you have to conform, and you're watering yourself down, and you're putting a cap on your magic, on your truth, your authenticity. That's not the person for you. Because the person that is for you, like the people that are for you, fuck romantic, just not just that, friends, jobs, careers, opportunities are for you. If it does not see your value, it doesn't take away the fact that you're valuable. It just means that that's not the space and the environment or the people for you. That's all that means. Rejection is one of like the things I feel like humans, we suffer the most in, because Every human being desires community. They desire to feel that tribe, because we come from an essence, a big source of something. We all come from that fabric of that. So in essence, like, we're connected in a way, but that's a whole nother topic. I don't want to go too much into that. But hypothetically, like, we are already a community, right? So we seek that out in human form. We seek it out through family. We seek it out through friendships. We seek it out through allies. We seek that out through romantic partners and children and all of that. We seek that community out. That's a human. That's just normal. Or we seek it out with our creator, our ancestors, angels. We seek that community in different forms. So when you get rejected, it feels like you're not a part of the tribe. You're misunderstood. You're not enough. You're not loved. You're not. This keeps catching my hair. You're not contributing to anything. So that's the lie, though. So instead of aligning with people that resonate with you and who embrace you, who have the space and hold the amount of a level of the maturity to love and appreciate a person such as yourself, or they just resonate with your vibe and your energy, whether it's for a season, whether it's for a lifetime. Never, never forfeit who you are and compromise that for anybody. Why is that important? I don't want to get too morbid and I don't want to get too dark. But let's say if you date the wrong person or you marry the wrong person and you guys just don't get along, that person could take you off course and off path. I've seen it happen to people where they get into relationships with people where they start getting into drugs. They start getting addicted to drugs. They start stealing, going to jail, just doing things that they would never do, right? That's off course. It doesn't resonate with their path, but that's the path that they chose at the time. Or even worse, somebody that, that partner that abuses them and takes them off this earth, or friends that don't really like you and you're hanging out with them, you're going on vacations. We've seen that, right? Hanging out with people that you think are your friends, you're all mingling, having a good time, and the next thing you know, like, somebody just lets you know, like, I really don't fuck with you like that, and then you're in a fight and you're just like, wait a minute, like, I thought we was all good. That is when you're not in the right company, when you're not in the right environment and people that don't really fuck with you like that. And that's why it's dangerous. And that's why it's important to never compromise your values, your morals, never to compromise your intuition for something that, like, at the end of the day, who's more important? Does your life matter to you more than it is with just having people around you, even if that means these are people that are not for you? Because I guarantee you this, I know I'm not the only human being on earth that has ever gotten red flags about anything or anybody that was not for them. I know I'm not the only one in this earth that's ever had that. We always get red flags and warnings. We always do. It's up to us whether we heed to it or we just go along with some shit. I knew better than to hang out with certain people, and it's gotten me in some dangerous situations. Thank God I'm still alive. But I've gotten into some dangerous situations with people that I thought were my friends solely because I wasn't honoring myself and my intuition and my safety, and my loyalty, or so-called loyalty, to those people weighed heavy over mine. That's not how it works. It's not how it's supposed to work. No, nope. Fuck that. I'd rather be with no friends if it means that the people that are around me at that moment don't fuck with me, and I'm just I don't want to be alone. I want to go on the trip. I want to go on vacation with them, and I want to be a part of the crowd. Fuck that. No, because you're working against yourself. And anytime you lay down with a person, or a man or a woman, that doesn't treat you right, that does not show you love and respect, they're cheating on you, they won't give you the time of day, and you're just trying to make it work. And if they just love me, if I just do this more, if I just do that. No, that is not the person for you. You don't got to do all that with people that love you. They will already show up for you. If you find yourself constantly having to work and work and work for love, and sometimes that comes from childhood, where you sought your parents' validation or a parental figure's validation all the time. So then when you get into relationships and connections with people, you find yourself overextending and overgiving. And that was my story with friends, with lovers, just for people to validate me or to make me feel seen, or just to know, okay, well, at least I have them. And it wasn't worth shit. It's not healthy. like it comes with self-love. Like the more you value yourself, the less you'll tolerate bullshit in your life, and the more you'll smell bullshit in your life. Like, no, that is not for me. I don't deserve that. Like, no, I'm not doing that. Mm-mm. No. No, no, no. Hell to the devil, hell to the no. No, 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 no. Like, it doesn't even matter. Like, yeah, it hurts as a human being. You want that community. I've had to cut friends off that I thought were like my friends, and oh, I love you and you my sister, but they're doing other things, or they're saying things under their breath, or they're talking down to you, or they're being very condescending. Like, you could smell the energy. And my thing is this: you can love a thing, you can love things about a person, even with the most shittiest person, or a person that is just like toxic, but they could be lovable in different ways. They could be deep down inside really a good person, but how they're operating is just despicable. It's just unacceptable. It's disrespectful. It's foul. It's ugly. Like, you have to separate your emotions sometimes, and like how you feel about people. Like, oh, that's my homegirl, or oh, I've been with him forever. We've been together for 10 years, or whatever the fuck, or that's my baby dad, or that's my baby mama, or that's my brother. Sometimes you have to separate that from a person and say, it's not acceptable. It's not cool. So to side with it is you saying to yourself, I don't value me enough. I value my so-called like alliance with somebody that doesn't really respect me more than I respect myself. No. And just like on here on YouTube, I got to a place where I valued the subscriber count more than valuing the quality of subscriber rather than the quantity of the subscriber. With that, I had to like, and this is something I had to remind myself of, that yeah, I'm not for everybody. I'm not. I know that. I am not for every motherfucking body. I'm not the quote unquote popular, trendy type of reader. I'm not. I have my own message, and whoever's supposed to resonate with it, whoever needs it at the time that they need it, that's what I should be concerned about. Not how many subscribers I get, how many subscribers I lose. Like, I would rather have people that are truly here because they want soul healing and work. They want clarity. They want truth about their lives. They want to progress. They want to evolve. They want to, they're on the same path of self-love, self-work, on the path of growing and expanding past their traumas, and, showing up for themselves, showing up for others lovingly, than being somebody that's trendy that everybody just claps for. Oh, that resonated. Oh, that was, oh, I claim this because it sounds good. Like, nah. Sometimes I'm going to say shit that is uncomfortable. Whether it's uncomfortable because it's something that's too good to be true to your ears, and you're just like, oh, that's fairy tale because of your trauma, and it's uncomfortable, or it's something that doesn't sound sugar coated to you and you don't want it. It's like, oh, that feels icky, but I know I have to deal with it. Like, I would rather show up the realest as I can in the best of my ability and capacity to give, than to try to fit into the trends of it all, because like, that's not going to help anybody in the end. It sounds good, it's entertaining, but at the end of the day, that's not what I'm here for. That's not what I felt called to even come on here, or just called to just be a messenger off and off YouTube, on and off YouTube. I'm not here to make people feel good in the sense of being in oblivion. Feel good in the sense of there's still hope. You're capable. You deserve better. You're more. See yourself in your true light, in your divinity. Don't make excuses for yourself. I'll call bullshit out as it is. If it's something that I see that's not right and people need to get it right, it is what it is. Like, I will deliver the message as God gives it to me. So I had to like get off of that self-validation thing too, of like, oh, maybe I should do more of this and I shouldn't do more of that. And let me just like sugarcoat, like, fuck, no, no. I don't want people just on here, yes. I don't want people just on here just because I'm making them feel good in this bubblegum way. And let's put it this way. If I was just to come on here all the time and tell you that the love of your life is going to come tomorrow, and this person's obsessed with you and they haven't gotten over you, your ex, like, yeah, those are real situations. It could very well still be those things. But if that's something that keeps you in a cycle of a loop, and I pray this all the time, by God, I do not want to be a crutch to someone where they're not progressing in their journey. I want to be an assistance. I know that I can't take full credit for their journey. I'll be okay with if it's just a pinch, a size, a little tiny rice grain size of hope or faith or encouragement for a person. That's cool enough for me. But I do not want to be a crutch to anybody on here to where they're seeking my messages as like they're like the end all be all, or any other reader or whatever messenger as the end all be all messenger for them, more so than they are for themselves and what source God is for them. I'm just a helper. That's it. I'm just giving you help and service and assistance on your journey. That's all I can do. But at the end of the day, it's up to you what you do with your life. It's up to you what you take with the messages, what you do with them. If your life changes, if you allow your life to be better for yourself, if you make better decisions and choices, you choose love, you choose the person that's better for you or best, or you, it's up to you at the end of the day. And if we just get messages that just makes us feel good all the time, in a sense of there's no thought into it, there's no thinking, there's no meditating on it, there's no praying on it, there's no, okay, let me get disciplined, let me be clear, let me, if it's just all about, oh, I'll just sit back and hear some good messages and that's enough for me and I'm waiting for life to happen, that's not how it works. And sometimes, yeah, you do have to surrender and just allow life to unfold. But if it's coming from a place where you're seeking out the future all the time and you're obsessed with needing to know every fucking thing, how it's going to happen, and good job, just sit on your ass, that's all you got to do, and the world around evolves around you, like, I'm not that messenger. I'm sorry, I can't do it. And sometimes, like, I'm the type of person that likes to just kind of sit back and pay attention to how humans work and how they think. And I notice, like, my most popular readings are always kind of like things, not that they're not important, but they're not as important as other topics that I would record or read about. So, like, oh, how does your future spouse view you physically and your social media? That's the most views I've gotten in a motherfucking while. That video got a lot of views. Within like 7 days, it had like 2,000 views. Any other video where it's like how to discern who your future spouse is, or how to work on something with your own self, your own heart, that shit hardly gets like 100, maybe 200 passing within a month. Maybe it might go up a little bit, but that shit's not popular. Nobody wants to fucking hear that. Nobody wants to hear that. So it's just interesting. It could be kind of discouraging and annoying a little bit, but hey, like, it is what it is. Or maybe I'm just a whack ass reader. I don't fucking know. I don't know. But it's interesting. Anywho, let's get into it. Y'all probably like, bitch, just shut up and get to the cards. I know how it is. I want to see them cards, bitch. I don't want to hear this. I want to see them cards. I want to see what comes out so I can validate and confirm, because I need to see it to believe it. I know. I get it. Anywho, let's see what the messages are. I have these really cute cards that I just got today in the mail. I always got some new cards. Y'all like, this girl. It's true. I do. I'm telling you, I have a new deck every week. But this is called the Angel Number Oracle by the Pulp Girls. Some of you guys have the Pulp Girls tarot deck, and I do too. I don't use it all the time, but it's so cute. But this one is like an angel number one, and I just love how it has like the auras. And let me show you. I'm glad you needed it, sis. See how you can't really see it, but it has like these pretty auras. Like, this is the back of the deck, and this is the like 555. So it has, or 525. It has a lot of different, look, 2020 with bonds. It's such a cute deck, and it kind of has a similar vibe to this one, the Spirit Guides Oracle deck that I got last week. They kind of have the same energy, so I will be using these as well. So let's get to the tarot, and then, excuse me, then we'll get to the oh shit, my leg. It's asleep. Okay. Then we'll get to the oracle messages. Nina, if you text me, I can't see it. I hope, that it wasn't my mom, because she does that when I'm trying to read. She'll be texting me like, I'm at the store. It's like, sis, like, come on now. All right. Enough talking. Let's get to it, Spirit. What's up? What you got on your mind, Spirit? What you want us, the collective that's meant to receive this, to know? Holy Spirit, make this message clear and plain. Open our ears to hear what we are meant to hear. Open our hearts to receive the message and the wisdom that's meant to come through. Thank you. Strength card flew out of the deck. 10 of Pentacles. Page of Wands. Yeah. I love this for you. Page of Cups. Since we've been talking about families and soul tribe, it's only right. 6 of Pentacles. The Wheel of Fortune. And the Fool in reverse. Okay. Oh, God. Was it something I said, Nina? Honestly. Okay, so you guys could be, for those of you that resonates with this anyhow, this feels like there's like this point in your journey where you're returning back to your child self, or you're returning, when I say not like you on some Benjamin Button shit, but like you're returning back to a part of your inner child that whether needs that hug that you need to pull along with you on the journey, take with you for a positive purpose and reason. Because I feel like you're finding your strength where maybe you didn't have it. Okay. So for those of you that resonated with kind of like a similar story where maybe you had a parent that wanted you to be a certain person, I feel like that could be normal at times. Like our parents want the best for us, but some parents kind of have this vision of the perfect child and the perfect future for that child or children should look like and be, right? So if you ever come across that energy where you felt kind of this microscope over you, like you gotta be this and you gotta do that, and this is what I want for you, and you better not do this, you better not do that, in a way that maybe some of you guys could have rebelled at certain parts in your life because you tried to deviate or you tried to get as far away as you could from that child that you once were, or that what that your parents tried to mold you to be. And I feel like you're taking your power back in another way, not in a rebellious way where you're kind of like getting away from it in a way. How do I explain this? Like, let's say you grew up as a preacher's kid, right? And instead of you working and moving around in the church and being with like another preacher, like your father or whatever, being in the church or marrying somebody in the church, you decided, I'm gonna be a drug dealer. I'm gonna be a drug dealer today, or I'm gonna be a fucking stripper. That's extreme, but let's just roll with it, right? Or instead of holding off and having sex until marriage, I'm gonna just go on and just get it popping now. Fuck what my parents said. I don't want that stigma on me of being a preacher's kid. I don't want to be that person. And instead of that route, it's like as you mature, it's like, no, I want to return back to that child that person that my inner child saw me to be or desired for me to be in the future, the things that I really enjoyed and really loved, the life that I really wanted to live. It's like you're returning back to that. And for some of you, it's just like things within your childhood that maybe cause you to feel like you couldn't be more than what you were, whether it was the circumstances, whether it was what you saw your parents go through. It kind of made you feel restricted. I feel like, okay, well, as an adult, I guess my life, this is just my life. And you're breaking free from that ideology, and you're opening your heart up to and back to like pouring into your future of what you see for yourself. And I feel like this is the point of a major turnaround for you. This is like a big step for you. You've been doing a lot of internal work with when it comes to your dreams, when it comes to your goals, something creative, because the Page of Wands and the Page of Cups together makes me think of creative energy, or like a very creative child or creative person. So the Fool in reverse is like you're not quite at that place yet where you feel ready to say, you know what, fuck it. You might still be at that place where you're processing, where you're unpacking, or, there's levels to the shit. Oh God. So that wasn't you texting me. Disruption with the helpers, the helper guides, and rest with the healer guides. So like they're kind of like having you at this place right now where they could be blocking off distractions around you, or kind of making sure that you, like, some of you guys may have gotten sick, or you're just very tired and you need to rest, like you don't have any energy right now. And I feel like, or there might be moments where like you want to go out, you want to do things, and then plans get canceled, or something like that, or people just pull out of like plans or something. I feel like those are the times where spirit's like, that's happening. It seems like it's just some random thing that's happening, but it's like it's deeper than that. It's for you to kind of be settled and sit with your own self, sit with your energy in that moment, in that period of time, or in that season. Like, yeah. Some of you guys need to utilize more sunlight in your life. It could be like you're too much of a homebody. Sometimes when I talk about health, and I try not to get into health and readings too much because like I'm not a healthcare physician. I have to be very careful with the advice that I give with that. But sometimes when I see pentacles, I think of like vitamins and pills. So like, and they're yellow. There's a lot of yellow here in most of these cards. So like vitamin D or B12, like you need to be taking your vitamins. And if it's not literal vitamins, then it's like foods that give off those like vitamin C's and vitamin D's and like natural B12 fruits and vegetables. Like you need to take that more in as I'm sipping on my margarita. I need to drink more of my, get back to my smoothies. Not you feel personally attacked. I do too. I'm sitting over here drinking a fucking margarita with sugar and alcohol, and I'm talking about B12. I mean, it got lemons in it. I got some lemon slices in there. That little citrus, it's a little healthy. I'm just playing, but yeah, I'm gonna pull another from this deck. As I sip my margarita, talking about health and vitamins. Like really, spirit. Okay. Yeah, like sometimes spirit be like, I be resonating sometimes too. I be like, damn, spirit, you trying to come at people's neck, and then the whole time it's like, well, bitch, you a part of the neck too. I'm coming at your neck too. I'm like, oh, okay. God's not calling me a bitch, but you know what I'm saying. Like that's me talking, but you get it. So you have shadows with the inner or the healer guide. So yeah, this is like you facing parts of yourself, maybe parts of yourself that, obviously when you talk about any type of traumatic experience or anything that makes you feel kind of uncomfortable, or something about the past that maybe you're not so proud of, or you wish you could have done differently. Yeah, of course, it's a shadow energy. It's something that is uncomfortable to confront or face. Okay. Yes, vitamin C. Spirit has a surprise for you with the surprise card and the joy at the bottom of the deck. It's at the top. Decisions with higher self. So the choices and decisions you make in this season are very, very important, because this next chapter that you're moving into, there's so much beautiful things that await you if you allow yourself to get out of your own way or push it more, because this doesn't mean that you're not doing the work. I don't want anybody to take this message as to say you're not doing anything, you're not working on yourself. No, this isn't that type of message. This is a message to say that you are making progress, but there's levels to the shit. I always say healing is like an onion. It has motherfucking layers to it. And on a softer note, since we talk about roses a lot, roses have layers too, if you think about it. So there's so much more to be. I feel like the onion is kind of like that, more of the healing work that's a little harsher to deal with, where there's layers to it. Like you could focus on, okay, well, I'm going to take strides to put myself out there more. But then it's like, okay, you might be in the kiddie pool doing little small little things here and there, but you're working your way up. And now it's like, no, bigger crowds, or go in environments or spaces that you've always felt like you didn't belong and put yourself in there and just say, fuck it, like I belong here. I'm me. I belong here because I am me. I contribute. And the beautiful healing aspect is like you represent that rose, meaning like there's so many layers of you that you're going to uncover. And as you blossom, as you open yourself up, as you grow within yourself, the more you're going to see those different layers of yourself. That's beautiful. Who appreciates it is, it doesn't matter in the sense of your beauty is not going to be diminished based off of if someone values you or not. Not everybody may have a preference for roses. Some people don't think roses are all that, they don't smell that good or whatever. They're just not a fan of roses. But does that take away the fact that a rose is a rose and it's beautiful to someone? That it represents sensuality, beautiful, whatever, devotion, divine feminine energy, whatever it represents to you. Does it take away that worth just because somebody else doesn't prefer it? No. Nah. And that goes back to, again, there's many different flowers and plants in the garden, and they all have their own level of beauty. They all have their own aspect of beauty. So it's not, doesn't take away yours. What's the angel numbers for us? What's the angel numbers? Because there's a lot of threes here. You have 31, which can be a 4. You have 33, which can be a 6. You have 21, which can also be a 3. There's a lot of threes here. So this is like birthing out. This is that Empress energy. This is that creative energy. This is that waiting for your ships to come in, but not like you're halting and stopping your life, but you have an anticipation that good things are coming to me, whether it's a good relationship, friendship, good partnerships, business ships, like a prophetess. Oh, we got 1111, make a wish at the bottom of the deck. I just had to stop. The 1111, make a wish. What's at the top? 2424, unconditional love. Yeah, for some of you, your soul just wishes for unconditional love, period. Not just unconditional love of romantic love, but unconditional love with people that see you, that appreciates you, honors and loves you, cherishes you, and maybe even more so deeper than that, but an unconditional love that you can experience for yourself within yourself. All right, Spirit ain't playing. 69, accountability. 2134 with achievement. So you have to take accountability for, if you want to see achievement and you want to see improvements in your life, you're going to have to take accountability for yourself, for your life. We can blame our upbringing. We can blame our current circumstances. I can't blame my grandmother for everything. I could say like, yeah, she really, really hurt me. She really traumatized me. But at the end of the day, I'm my own person. I don't want to be stuck in the stigma of all the word curses, all the trauma, and just get into this woe is me. Like, I know that affected me. I know that shapes a lot of the things that I've experienced and the things that I put up with and how I see myself. But I take accountability in the sense of I want to live a better life. I want to see myself in a positive light. I want to see myself how God sees me. I want to be able to see myself in the way that the people that love me see me and appreciate the love that they bring, and not be in this self-sabotaging energy or in this, what's the right word, like imposter syndrome all the time, and feeling like I don't deserve good things, or I don't deserve people to love me, or I don't, because someone else made me feel lesser than that, or be out of their own, maybe that wasn't her intentions, but just based off of what she's done, I can easily be like, oh, well, I ain't worth shit because she told me I wasn't, or she told me I was an idiot, or I was stupid, or I'm not that pretty, or whatever thing she says and has said and has shown me. I can sit there with that over my head and walk with those word curses on me, or I can break them fucking word curses off and say, no, God speaks for me. I speak for me. Is fine, that. So also take accountability for the achievements you do have. Sometimes we don't celebrate ourselves enough. It's not you boasting and being cocky. Celebrating yourself, what's the harm in that? Of acknowledging yourself. There's nothing wrong with that. Okay? All right. I don't want to make this too long, y'all. Not you're fighting for your life. I'm a fixed sign too. Triple times over. Fixed sign, okay? I understand. Okay? I get it. Sis, I get it, okay? As I sips my margaritas, I get it. Happy Taco Tuesday, y'all. Happy Tarot Tuesday. Um, Heart Therapy Tuesday, whatever you want to call this session here. But I greatly appreciate all y'all. It was my pleasure. I hope you guys got something positive out of this message and it wasn't just me just talking just to be talking and just like, bitch, get to the cards. Because I know some people be thinking that. I know y'all be thinking that sometimes. But some people that like to hear my so-called, I don't know, I call them rants. Some people like, no, we love when you do it. Like my sister Tori be like, no, I love when you do that. You need to do that more. I'll be taking notes. I'm like, okay, sis, I appreciate it. All right. I'll get out of my own way. Once again, okay. But yeah. This was a pleasure. Okay. So I greatly appreciate y'all. Thank you so much for joining. I appreciate you guys all for the love, and if this genuinely resonated, is it? I hear that too, like, but sometimes I be listening to my voice and I be like, it sounds like if a teacher had like them strong stiletto like Cardi B length nails and she just was like on the chalkboard. That's how my voice sounds to me sometimes. It's like on top of that Cardi B's voice, like, what was I raised at? And she's like scratching. That's what it sounds like to me when I hear my voice. I'm just like, oh. Sometimes I can hear the soothing. Sometimes like I'll hear it, and then there's times where like when I like going in, I'm just like, ooh, I don't want to hear this shit. But yeah, Spirit will have me listen to my own messages sometimes and like play it back, and I'd be like, Spirit, you trying to come at me too? Damn. All right, Spirit, thank you. You know, sometimes you got to hear your own voice. I think that's a powerful thing to record yourself and hear yourself. So like maybe that's an assignment for some of us. Let's record ourselves on our phone or on our something, saying something nice to ourselves for the day and play it back. Or I am abundant, or I am loved unconditionally, and play that back and listen to it. Like you have to hear yourself and it gets into your own subconscious mind. I feel like it's kind of fake. Like if you're listening to like some type of guru or subliminal thing on YouTube because it's not your own voice. And some people might find it more receptive because it's like it's coming from another person, like encouraging them. And but again, like that self-empowerment, like I feel like that is more of a holds more of a powerful influence. I feel like no. I think everybody has that. I remember the first time I've heard my voice play back was when I had a karaoke machine that I could record myself, and I would sing, and I like on a little tape recorder on my karaoke machine, and I would play it back, and I'd be like, it kind of sounds kind of cute, but my voice at the time sounded like this. So when I was singing, I would sound like a chipmunk. So I was just like, ugh, like I don't know. But other people like, oh no, it's cute. Like my best friend at the time, she's like, no, it sounds pretty, it's cute. But I was hearing a chipmunk. So that was the first time I heard my voice like that way. And then when I would like work in customer service and call centers, they would play my calls back to me and we would grade my calls. And I would just be like, I don't want to hear it. And I would like talk in the code switching voice. You know, you got to talk extra proper and extra perky on the phone. And it just was like really uncomfortable. It was the strangest thing to hear. It was just ugly, you know, but yeah, no, that's something. I don't know what that is. Like, I'm not the only person that feels like that when they hear themselves. They feel like they sound weird. And it was this girl. I think she was from 3LW. She said that she didn't record for years because she felt like her voice was not. It didn't sound mature as an adult, so she didn't like to like record any new songs. I was like, that's limiting. That right there is limiting. It's not good. Cause like out of the three girls out of the group, she was one of the ones that could sing, like two out of the three that could really sing too. So I'm just like, that's like holding yourself back. Like that's not cool at all. So I don't know if she still does that or thinks like that, but I don't know. But it's not cool. It's not cool. But I'm sweating. I think it's because I have this light on me and it's kind of hot in here, and the sweater, I gotta take the sweater off because it is like, you know how weather is bipolar. Our weather is literally like 1 minute it's cold, it's raining, and then the next minute it's sunny as fuck outside, and you would think it's already like summertime. Technically, we're kind of still in winter season. We're not quite in spring yet, so it was kind of weird. I don't know. Who knows? Anyway, that was a reading. I appreciate y'all. Y'all be blessed. Be safe. Take care. Peace.